The basketball IQ on Harper is amazing.
Yeah, but we
We
still also
go. We
need
got
Fox.
Pledger. Pledger's in early. Woo! Pledger in the
There he
house.
is. Like the shorts pledge. He's repping.
What's happening, guys?
What's
up?
going on, brother?
Mike already wants to throw away Fox pledge.
Not
We don't
Fox.
need him.
What?
He says. Mike
It
wants to
sounded
throw
like
away.
you wanted to throw away Castle.
Yeah,
Oh,
Castle too.
I
He's all
love
in on
Castle,
Harper.
but Castle's a turnover machine, dude.
To be fair, after game one of the NBA season, I fully expected Mike to come on the podcast and be like, I told you, like, Dylan Harper's not it. They should have taken VJ Edgecombe. Did they make a mistake?
Hey, what a game for marketing, no?
Oh my God! Quit trying to turn Pledger on while he's driving.
Hey, I'm saying.
Dude, he's a baller.
You know what? We're 4 games into the season now. We've already
But
had
at this
Austin
point-
Reeves.
Do you need to do anything?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's all great talking about Giannis and everything all off season, but seeing the product on the floor,
No. Yeah.
like
No.
they still don't have everything that they have at their disposal, and they look this good.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say like we've already had a 50-point performance out of Austin Reeves. We've had a 50-point performance out of Lauri Markkinen. Why not Wemby? You know, I gave Wemby 20 games here. First 20 games. If Wemby drops 50, I'll sign the Wemby apology for him. I'm giving him 20 games. That's a sample size just to see how much he's
What are you
improved.
apologizing for? What'd you say about Wemby?
But it's not.
What haven't I
generational.
said about
dare
Wemby?
you?
Fletcher?
Show starting now, Pledge.
Nights to the Alamo shade, we rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210, oh, it's the life that we chose.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. In the middle of the screen there, you see my good buddy. Haven't heard from him in a while. James Pledger of San Antonio Sports Star, the host of Extra Innings, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Pledge, how you doing, my man?
What's going on, Mike? How you been, brother?
Dude, the Spurs are undefeated, and I'm in a good mood, my man. The tank was worth it. You and I were first on the Team Tank. We were the captains of Team Tank early on. Now the fruits of our labor are finally coming upon us, Pledge.
Yeah, the team looks so good and deep. Now, there is the question of what does it look like against Denver? What does it look like against Oklahoma City? What does it look like against Houston? Like, we don't know how great the teams they played are. Brooklyn's expected to be one of the worst teams in the league, but they're doing what they should against those teams, and they are slapping them. And, you know, part of it is Wemby has taken that step, and he looks like he is ready to take over and dominate the league. And I think the most important thing, and I've had a lot of Devin Vassell slander over the last few years, people are fitting into their roles and doing not more than what is asked of them, and that includes Devin Vassell, and it looks really, really good right now.
It's amazing what's going on with the Spurs right now. Undefeated at 4-0, and as you mentioned, and as Joe has alluded to all week long, they haven't played any quality teams yet, right? They beat a Brooklyn team that's going to be the worst team in the NBA. They struggled to beat them. They had to go on a 15-0 run to win at the end of that game over the weekend. They beat Dallas in Dallas, which I guess is the signature win for the team already. But the Spurs have played 4 bad to mediocre teams and have beaten all 4. Post-game yesterday, you saw Wemby say, yeah, we're taking care of business. You know, he said, we're winning the games we're supposed to win. That, to me, is a step in logic there when it comes to the Spurs, because it means that they have expectations of themselves. And this is the first time this team has had expectations in about 5 or 6 seasons. But the Spurs will go out there yesterday, get another victory, tied with OKC for the best record in the league at 4-0. The Spurs also have the highest point differential by far in the NBA at over 16 points per game. The Spurs have Victor Wembanyama, who's averaging 30 points per game. Dylan Harper, as a rookie, averaging basically 16, 5, and 5, looking better than Cooper Flagg, who struggled again yesterday for the Dallas Mavericks. The Spurs are rounding into form, and as you mentioned, Pledge, I think it cascades down. Iron sharpens iron. I think Wemby taking a leap from an all-star level to a generational level is making it easier for everyone else to fall in line. It's making it easier for everyone to assume their roles. Stephon Castle coming on in and doing his thing. Dylan Harper being Mr. Everything, man. I love Dylan Harper's play. I feel so ecstatic that he's on this team. But then you see Keldon Johnson. You see Devin Vassell accept their roles and excel at their roles. Harrison Barnes finally had a good game. It just seems, Pledge, I know we're 4 games into it. I know they haven't played Denver. I know they haven't played OKC. I know they haven't played the Lakers. I get that. But the odds of them making the playoffs are getting higher and higher and higher because they're racking up the wins they're supposed to get. And what were we saying? The goal was for what? Not to win a championship. The goal was to make the playoffs. And Pledge, is this a playoff-bound team? Now are you like, yeah, this is a playoff team, top 6?
I mean, we're 4 games in. There's a long road to hoe between now and game 82, but they look like a playoff team. They have the feel of a playoff team. They're taking care of business. This is a team that has not lost this year. And I'm talking back to the preseason. We talked about this for years after they tore everything down. This team needs to learn how to win games. They need to learn how to close games. And they're doing that this year. They're finally stacking wins and putting things together. And it's, I think, part of the preseason, and people love to knock the preseason, but like they were learning to win games then too. And what it feels like, and how to build from one win to the next, and stack multiples on top of one another. You're seeing the Cowboys struggle with that right now. You're seeing the Texans struggle with things like that right now, stacking wins. This team has been doing that all year, and I think that's a positive thing for this team because we always love to talk about how young they are, how young they are, how young they are. And yes, they are young. But that's what bringing in a Chris Paul last year was supposed to be for. That's what bringing in Harrison Barnes was for. It's to get them in the day-to-day, not just on the floor, but how you treat your body on off days, what you do in the training room, how you sleep, like these types of things that all lead to wins that aren't necessarily seen on the floor. And they're starting to put all these things together. And now that they're starting to see these things return on investment, I think it's only benefited them, and they're growing in confidence with every single game.
I think the interesting thing is they're doing this without De'Aaron Fox. They're doing this without Jeremy Sohan. The team can possibly get even better. Looking at fans,
Kelly
Olynyk, who Spurs fans forget is on this team. He's out with an injury as well. Also doing it without Luke Kornet.
No, man. I don't know if he's going to sniff the court this season. It looks like they're just sitting him for now. I don't know what it's going to look like when he comes back from injury. I'm sure that they'll kind of ease him in, but we'll see where he ends up in the rotation. I would, for one, like to see him on the court. I think having another veteran out there would be instrumental for this Spurs team.
Having another floor spacer.
Yeah, exactly. Olynyk, they forget Olynyk can actually shoot a 3. You know, and he's serviceable on defense. He's not a bad player to have on your team.
He's a pro.
Yeah. You know, and right now I'm looking at the odds that FanDuel has right now. Minus 290 odds for the Spurs to make the playoffs. It basically says implied odds, 75% chance according to the sports books that the Spurs will make the playoffs. Dylan Harper moved up, according to FanDuel, when it comes to the Rookie of the Year odds because he started the season, even though he was the number 2 pick in the draft, he started the year at number 4 on the list, has moved up to number 3 behind VJ Edgecombe and Cooper Flagg. When it comes to MVP, you saw that Wemby started the year at number 5 on the rankings, and now he's at number 2 behind SGA. The NBA is taking notice of this team, of the Spurs. They're doing what they need to do. Not only are they winning, but they're winning by wide margins by and large. And the only concerns that I have, okay, if you were to have any concerns about the team right now, Oddly enough, my biggest concern is Stephon Castle. Castle has improved his points per game, but he leads the league in turnovers per game. Not lead the Spurs, not lead the conference. He leads the entire league in turnovers per game with more than 6 per game. Little cause of concern for that, and he seems to be erratic when it comes to free throw shooting. Free throw shooting, he is not comfortable out there at the free throw line. These are things that he's going to improve on. I'm not saying it's going to be like this all season long, but that's one cause for concern is why all the turnovers? Why is he so apprehensive to shoot free throws? It's just weird. Dylan Harper seems to be
playing out of position.
Well, what position should he be playing?
He's playing out of position. He should be playing off guard.
Agreed.
And that's fine. You know, he can play the one. He can fill in there, but it's not the position that he's best suited for, especially in the NBA. And when De'Aaron Fox comes back, he's going to assume that role, and you're going to slide Castle over, and everything's going to fit. Remember when we were all complaining during the preseason that, oh, Wemby's got 7 turnovers in this game? I heard you talking about it. Like, yeah, he did, because he was trying things. Playing Stephon Castle a little bit out of position, and the turnovers are getting to him. Is it a massive concern? No, because I don't expect him
we just lost
fully healthy. Right now, he is filling in.
It's because he's traveling, dude. He's probably
filling into a role. Not going to end up playing. You're going to have to come back. He's going to be your starting.
All right, Pledge, we're gonna have you come back in real fast. We're kind of dropping in and out real fast. So give us a quick second. You might be in that dead zone of Harry Wurzbach, man, because I know you're heading on into the station right now over at San Antonio Sports Star 94.1. Here's the thing, man, Joe. When it comes to the Spurs right now, I'm not bagging on Castle. I'm not, and as Pledger alluded to, he is playing off position. He's better on the 2 spot. He's better on the 2 spot than he is the 1 spot. And we saw this earlier in the weekend when it came to the game against Brooklyn. Dylan Harper was the reason why they were bringing that lead up. And when the lead went down, it was when Castle was leading the offense. And when it came back around, they put Dylan Harper back in at the 1 because Dylan Harper is a 1. He's a point guard. He's a traditional point guard. He's playing the correct position. Yes. So they need to give up the ball handling from Castle and give it more to Harper. Harper is more attuned to that, and Harper's basketball IQ is through the roof. He is so good at what he does out there. Now averaging basically 16, 5, and 5. We got ourselves a stud. The guy's NBA ready, man.
Yeah, but the thing also is, Mike, is like you go ahead and you have your glasses on right now when it comes to Harper. He's a rookie. I get that he's playing good right now, but also with Castle, he hasn't played his true position yet. And I'm sure that when Fox comes back and Fox and Castle is able to go ahead and play his more natural position, you're going to see the growth of one Stephon Castle as well, you know, and then you're going to be like, Mira Castle, he looks good too. You know, of course he's not looking great right now. And, you know, it's just the nature of the beast, you know. I mean, the Spurs are having to go ahead and play the players that they have right now because the scary part about this, Mike, is that this team hasn't even played at full strength yet. They still have to have players return from injury. And that dynamic, once they come back in, it's going to change the complexion of the overall team itself because now they're going to have to go ahead and get used to playing with each other, you know?
I love how Skip Jimenez here decides to go, like, I'm not bagging on Castle, and then proceeds to bag on Castle. Like, a person who's like, no offense, here comes offensive pun. Like, that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Oh, Fletcher, I know you miss me. I know you miss me tremendously. I miss you.
Oh,
now,
wait. I got something for Pledge. I got this. Remember, Pledge. We can't forget. You moron.
Now, Castle has improved on some aspects of things. So here's what Castle's improved on. His shot selection is a lot better. His shot selection is a lot better. He's averaging 52% from the field. Phenomenal. Talk about shot selection being better. Wemby shooting 60% from the field. Why? because he's shooting down low as opposed to shooting a ton of 3-pointers. This team has got it all put together. And for the Spurs to go off and score as many points as they did yesterday and get the win yesterday, when Wemby shot how many times? 8? He was 7 for 8 shooting.
Yep.
They took Wemby out of the game by double and triple teaming him, and the Spurs still won. Those are very, very important milestones and markers for the Spurs to win games where they take Wemby out of the offensive lineup. And by the way, Wemby taken out of the offense, shot the ball 8 times, still almost scored 30.
Yeah.
So, Pledge, we have this debate on Area 210 podcast about Victor Wembanyama. Joe is of the opinion that Wemby is not generational yet. What is your opinion on this?
Hold on a sec. Apparently the audio went down a little bit.
Is Wemby generational yet? Would you consider him that? Would you give him that title? Wemby is right now averaging 30 points per game, averaging 13 and a half rebounds, about 4.5
LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords. Set up.
That being said, do you consider Wemby to be generational now? Because he was an all-star level before. I didn't consider him to be generational then. 4 games in, what we see now, fine, I'm willing to give him the title. Joe is still hesitant to do so, says he wants to wait 20 games. What do you think, Pledge?
I mean, he's always been a generational talent. You're talking about a guy who was going to be the runaway defensive player of the year his rookie year. And last year, it wasn't even close. Like, he still led the league in blocks and missed half the season.
Right.
Like, that's still generational. Is it generational in terms of best player ever to step on the court? No, because, like, his offense still had to come around. It has come around even more this year. He has put in a lot of work, put on a lot of weight. He's playing down low more and using his body, but his body wasn't ready early in his career. Like, this is what we're seeing is generational in a sense, in terms of we haven't seen anybody at his size do anything like he's doing ever.
Right.
He is one of one. And for him to be able to, sham God and cross up and pull up logo 3 at 7'7", it's unprecedented. That is the definition of generational.
It is most definitely a generational talent that we're seeing right now. He is taking it to a different level because he's playing a different game. He has bulked up. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten heavier. He's gotten stronger. He's not being pushed around. He's imposing his will defensively. Thank God he extended his block streak. Got his first block of the game around 3:30 in the fourth quarter. Why? Because they avoided him.
Turn Bluetooth on your mobile device in order to.
This was like Deion Sanders back in the day, where Deion Sanders would not get an interception, not because he wasn't trying, not because he couldn't get one, because they weren't throwing it in his direction. They refused to go to Wemby on offense. I had never seen anything like that. And wait till Luke Cornett comes back from injury with a sprained ankle. This team is interesting. I'm not saying that they're championship level. I'm not saying that they're elite. I know they're 4-0 and all that stuff, but they're a fun team to watch. They're going to be in a lot of games. They're going to beat a lot of teams that you wouldn't have thought early in the season that they would have beaten. This is fun to watch. We got the right players. The flowers need to be given to Brian Wright because, again, we may have bagged on him early on, but the last 24 months or so, he has been batting 1,000 in getting all the free agents that he got from Harrison Barnes to getting, trading for players like Luke Cornett, getting rid of Zach Collins, getting rid of Trey Jones, getting draft capital, doing swaps. All of the stuff that he has done the last two years or so has been perfect. We can criticize him about Luka Samanic. We can criticize him about Josh Primo. We can criticize him about Jeremy Sohan, all that stuff.
And
last 24 months, though, bringing in Mitch Johnson has been perfect. And I know that it's one of those things where it was a no-brainer to get Wemby at 1, no-brainer to get Council at 4, no-brainer to get Harper at 2. But aside from that, though, everything else that he's doing, cap-wise, getting De'Aaron Fox, all that stuff, you got to give the man his flowers, man. He's doing a fantastic job, and now the team is coming together. I have not been this excited since 2017.
I wanted to say
It's
something too.
just amazing to see you finally come around on Brian Wright.
Yeah,
Hey,
I was going to say
took me
Mitch Johnson. What about Mitch Johnson? We
Yeah.
haven't
And
talked
Mitch Johnson. And
about
last
him
year, you
enough.
wanted to run him out of town halfway through the year.
No. I've been on
Yes.
the Mitch train. I've been
That does-
Joe, pull the tape.
No, pull the tape because I've been on the Mitch train for the
No,
get-go.
you get the
I
Trump.
No, I'm gonna two-gun salute both of you on that. I was on the Mitch train from the get-go. I said he had to give a full
Man.
that he was thrown into the fire, that he did not know this was going to be his team. That was not his coaching staff. That was not his team that he inherited last year, that the Spurs needed to give him another chance. I have never been said anything bad about Mitch Johnson one time.
Run the tape. Run the tape.
Find it all day long. Find it. I have never been against Mitch Johnson. I've never been about, let's get a retread. Let's go get Brett Brown out there. Coach. I've been wanting a young coach for the longest time, Pledge. For the longest time. You've been calling me an ageist for the longest time. So
I have.
Screw both of you guys for lying, man.
And halfway through the year with Mitch Johnson, you wanted to run him out.
Never did. Never said that.
Yes, you did.
Never said that. Never said that. By the way, these are Gina Ortiz-Jones level lies that you guys are spewing.
Oh,
it's
my
amazing.
God.
It's amazing. Love both. Pledge, I effing love you, my man. I miss you, man. I miss you. Okay. So, Cooper Flag. I mean, not to quote the movie The Naked Gun.
Are you really gonna do this?
Is this some sort of bust? Okay.
Oh,
And by the way, before we go into that, we had a $2 super chat coming on in earlier in the show from Matt
We're gonna
Lerma.
bring that up. Yep, we're gonna bring that up now.
And he says,
Here comes the money.
he says, Harper, Rookie of the Year, Edgecombe and Flag suck. Go Spurs, go. Okay, so I got to see Cooper Flag in person for his first game ever when I was in Dallas watching the Spurs beat the Mavericks, and the entire crowd, chanting "Go Spurs, go," which was amazing. Maybe not the entire crowd, but it sounded like it. I watched him play, and he was supposed to be 100% NBA ready. And I suppose he is NBA ready to some extent, but he's out of position. They're having him play the point guard, which is kind of weird. And he looks unsure of himself. And the stats that he got against the Spurs, which is like, oh, we had a double-double, 10 points and rebounds. Those were Dak Prescott level stats when the Cowboys are down by 4 touchdowns, and you run up the stats at the end of the game. That's what he did. Yesterday, made only 1 bucket. The Thunder were trying to give that game away. I saw the fourth quarter. They were trying to give that game away to the Mavericks, and the Mavericks couldn't get the victory. I'm not saying he's a bust. What I'm saying
You just said he was a bust.
What I'm saying is that he's got the whiff of it. Like, maybe just not as good as we all thought. Maybe not bust. Bust to me means you suck ass.
You
But
just said he was a bust.
He just smells like overrated.
Here's the thing. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
All rookies have to learn. All grow through the NBA. Wemby struggled early in his NBA career, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't come out and drop what he's doing right now.
Harper
And
plays
people were wondering if he was going to be who we all thought he was going to be. It takes time, Mike. These guys, as much as some can come in and take over and dominate, it's not for everybody. And remember, he's going to a team that, yes, it has Anthony Davis, and yes, on its face looks like a playoff team because, but there is no Kyrie Irving right now. Their point guard that they're starting is freaking D'Lo. Like, come on. Really?
Okay.
Which is the reason why they're trying to get him at point guard, because he is a good initiator. But he's also a rookie.
Let me ask you this. It has something to do with whether I think he's going to be a scrub long term, because he's going to be a very good player. He's probably going to be an all-star one day, right? Yeah. It's just weird when you see these rookies play. VJ Edgecombe, Dylan Harper. You watch them play, and they look ready to go, like basketball IQ level off the chart, ready to go. Cooper Flag, does not look comfortable out there. And it's not because he had a bad shooting performance yesterday. I'm not saying that the last 3 games that he's played, he does not look comfortable. He doesn't look like it looks like the game's too fast for him right now. I'm not saying that it's not going to slow down for him, but it looks too fast. I've seen 2 of his games. I've seen a good chunk of another. It just looks like he's overwhelmed out there on the basketball court, whereas Dylan Harper and VJ Edgecombe are out there like it's no big deal. Like they were ready to go. Stephon Castle was no big deal. Cooper Flagg just seems a little bit unsure of himself. Like he doesn't know. Like he has like baby deer legs right now out there playing. Like he's second guessing himself. That's what I'm saying.
Or Mike on ice skates in the ice rink. Just shaky baby deer legs, right?
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Look at what he's dealing with. I mean, he is the Luka replacement. There are expectations beyond expectations on this man. He's supposed to be the savior coming in to save Dallas after trading away Luka. Then you're going into a team that already has a star in Anthony Davis. So are you meant to take it over fully, or are you meant to find a spot and a role on this team? Dylan Harper coming into San Antonio knows he isn't starting.
Right.
Dylan Harper coming into San Antonio knows Victor Wembanyama is the number 1 player on this team. Like there is no gray area for him. They've defined what his role is, and he has spent all off season adapting himself into that role, and it looks like he's doing it very well.
I think
VJ Edgecombe has been the only guy that has been practicing in Philadelphia because literally everyone else is hurt.
Right. Well, I think Dark Aeons has a very good point on our chat powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Says Cooper Flagg has a target on his back. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
And it's not a target. I mean, think about it. He's got the target, he's got the expectations, but he's also not the guy. Anthony Davis is the guy. And so it's you are the guy, but you're not the guy. So where are you supposed to fit in? When are you supposed to take over? How are you supposed to defer to the actual superstar that is on the team versus your budding superstar? Like he looks lost because maybe he is lost and he doesn't know his place or his fit, and it hasn't been that well defined by Jason Kidd either.
Yeah, I just think that the walls are closing in a little bit. It's going to take some time, probably more time than people thought, because people thought that Cooper Flagg was going to come out of the gate and just be a stud, all-star first season and whatnot, and it just hasn't materialized that way. Right now, Dylan Harper plays 5.5 fewer minutes than Cooper Flagg, averages more points, averages more assists, and has identical number of rebounds per game, has more steals and more blocks. Okay, he is outplaying Cooper Flagg. It's a cool stat to look at to see that. And I go back to the whole thing, and this is the victory lap, if you will, because some people are on our chat powered by PF Chang's coming out and saying, Michael, you hyped up Dylan Harper so much. And I know Dylan Harper, it's easy to hype up the number 2 player in the draft, right? But for some reason, Spurs fans were not excited about Dylan Harper as much as I thought they would have been. I think they were more excited about Carter Bryant than they were about Dylan Harper. And it's one of those things where they were thinking to themselves that Dylan Harper would take a while to kind of get cooking. But it took 2 quarters for him to figure it out. In Dallas, he struggled the first half. Third quarter, he kind of got it going. And ever since then, the engines have been running. He's been doing pretty good.
I got some pushback for you, Mike. And this is what I'm going to tell you. You're looking at Cooper Flagg, right? And he hasn't been very good out the gate. How much of that is actually his fault? What are the Mavs doing with his position right now? They're forcing him to play a point guard. That's not his true position. That's like the Spurs having Jeremy Sohan as a point guard. How well did that bode for him? Not very good. So right now what you're seeing isn't a full sample size of his talents on display out there. That's more the Mavs kind of like putting him at that position that he's not comfortable playing. I'm sure it will change at some point in the season, but for whatever reason, they have decided to run him out as a point guard, and you're seeing the effects of that. He doesn't look very good.
He's a shooter, though, man, and he shot 1 for 9 yesterday. He was 0 for 3 from 3, played 31 minutes and had 2 points. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm just saying that it might take a lot longer of a time for him to be the player that he's expected to be. And I think that there was the expectation that
Mike, he went 1 for 9. You know what? That probably has a lot to do with confidence, and he doesn't have confidence in his game right now because he doesn't have confidence in where he's supposed to fit on the floor, and that affects your shot. Like, sometimes you just need to see the ball go through the help. Sometimes you just need a simple thing and dumb it down and make the game just the game again. And maybe that's not what's happening in Dallas for Cooper Flagg right now.
I'm not going to call him a bust, but if we're playing the game hangman, I'm putting the letter B down. Okay, but B and then 3 dashes behind it. Okay.
I'm going to love how you're going to spin this B into something else with 4 letters. Like,
interesting stat.
He's going to start adding dashes at the end of it and be like, badass, I told you all along.
Jordan Hausenwine of Spurs. Interesting stat. Only 4 rookies in Spurs history scored double figures their first 4 career games. David Robinson, Willie Anderson, Victor Wembanyama, and Dylan Harper.
Mira Wemby.
Dylan's my son. First time I've ever called him my son.
Stephon Castle was your son last
They're
season.
both my sons. I can have both as my sons.
Stephon Castle was your foster kid. You told the foster home to take him back, man.
He's already aborted Castle.
Yes. He said, that's my son. Last year, he said, Stephon Castle, that's my son. Proudly displaying the Stephon Castle jersey.
Hey.
And now you're like, I don't like him.
No, it's not that I don't like him. I'm just saying, who has a higher ceiling? I Castle's going to be I've said this before. Castle's going to be a 2-time All-Star. Harper's probably going to be a 6 to 8 time.
What happens
All-Star.
when Harper struggles later on in the season and Castle looks good?
Well, everyone give me crap about saying that I'm calling Castle Caitlin Clark because he leads the league in turnovers right now. I want to thank you guys for the callback from 6 months ago. But
Castle is up.
I thought it was Jeremy that loved to dye his hair. Apparently, Castle's turned his hair red because he's become Mike's redheaded stepchild.
Pledge, how much time you got, my man? We love having you on. You got a few minutes? We've got a few more minutes with us, Pledge? Very nice. Talking to James Pledger of San Antonio Sports Star. He hosts Extra Innings 6 to 7 Monday through Friday on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you don't want to just hear his voice but want to see his voice, you can always go to San Antonio Sports Star's YouTube page and follow along. Sometimes I chime in, but I miss Pledge. Joe, the whole thing about
see my voice,
see him speak. There you go.
See him speak.
See his pretty face. Look at that.
See my voice.
Yeah. I can I don't know. I can see music.
English is hard. I get it, man.
You can't see music if you're not a synesthete, Mike. Come on. Synesthesia is a thing, brother. Come on.
Very nice, man. Tony Analysis reaches out to us and says, Pledge is Mike's sports therapist. That's right. Back in the day, the therapy couch. Man, remember when the Spurs sucked ass and I forgot that we were on radio. You were just pissing me off. And I was like, wait a minute, we're on air the entire time. And I was just in a therapy couch where I was just so frustrated by the Spurs picking certain players. Like, who the hell is Josh Primo? Sengun was there. Who the hell is this Jeremy Sohan? I was so mad. So mad. But I miss those days, Pledge. I miss those days.
But he loves Brian right now.
You know what? That's not a flip-flop. That's an evolution. Okay?
Oh.
So that's an evolution when it comes to things. But the Spurs are doing well. They're 4-0. They've got the Miami Heat coming on in. Spurs will be favored in that game. That'd be so wild if they go 5-0. I posted on there that every time the Spurs win, I'm equating Gino Ortiz-Jones, the mayor of San Antonio, to the owner of the Cleveland Indians in the movie Major League. And she gives me the same vibe. She wants the team to lose. She wants the arena to fail. Not on her watch. She wants all this to happen. What do you think? What's your prediction for the election, Pledge? Because right now we have over 76,000 early votes in Bexar County. It's on track to surpass what the mayoral election did back in June. What are your odds, man? What's your feel from it, from what people talk to you about it?
I'm in sports radio, so obviously it's 90% positive on my end.
Right.
But I also know that there's a bunch of people out there that just don't like anything. And there are going to be people that walk into the ballot and see that this is a tax written at the top. And it's going to scare them. Like, not everybody's informed. Not everybody understands. Not everybody cares. And that scares me because, yeah, you say 76,000 for early turnout. Like, when they have barely over 100-something thousand in our mayoral runoff. Like, 76 doesn't seem like a lot in a city of, what, 2.5 million now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm scared, Mike. Like,
Now,
I don't feel great about this, if that's what you're asking.
now
Well,
the
you know where
Spurs,
we stand, Mike. Look in here.
yeah, we have the Shut Up Gina shirts, which, by the way,
Sure,
have,
yeah.
I'm a misogynist. Apparently that's what I've been told by a few people, right? But I always I find that to be funny, right? It's like, no, I'm not. This is me being a feminist because I'm treating her the way I would a man. But Gina Ortiz Jones, rather. I don't understand the venom that she has for the Spurs, and I don't think that people. You've come.
I don't think it's the Spurs. I think it's public funds for anything that is not, city related in terms of where she determines where the dollars go.
I wish I could debate her because I would ask her the question: are you going to keep up the same energy when it comes to USAA? Are you going to keep up the same energy when it comes to Toyota? When it comes to University Hospital? When it comes to all of these other entities that also use public tax dollars, that also get breaks from SAWS, that also get breaks from CPS, that also get breaks from from city taxes. Are you going to are you going to try to get ownership of USAA? Are you going to try to get ownership of Toyota, the plant that we have over there on the south side? No. Well, then there's something amiss here, because why are the Spurs any different? And the Spurs aren't going to give up ownership of the team because that would open up the floodgates. They probably wouldn't even be given permission to do so if they wanted to by the NBA. It's a franchise, man. It's not its own entity. It is a franchise of the NBA. It just shows the absurdity and stupidity of this woman. Either that or she knows all this and knows that the only way that she can get her way is by fooling other people. She's a disingenuous.
Well, how much
person.
of that is actually having to do with the education, the message being sent out there that's being portrayed to the masses? A lot of people that are going to be voting here in this city are not well educated when it comes to city politics, and they're going to believe mostly anything that comes out either on social media or the TV. Gina Jones has been smart because even though it's disinformation at times, she's gotten her voice out there first before the Spurs did. She was given airtime on KSAT and Ken's and News 4.
And it's half truths. It's not necessarily a lie. It's a half truth. It is a tax. Doesn't say that this is a tax that doesn't affect San Antonio taxpayers. It only affects people that stay in hotels and rent. Yes, there is money coming in from the state. No, that money cannot be used in other facets. This is a venue thing coming in from the state that we're getting excess dollars from. Like, she has just spun the facts to her side. They're not false. They're just wrong.
They're half truths, Pledge. It seems like what she's done is she's villainized the Spurs because Project Marvel is more, let's say, controversial because of what she's spinning about the Spurs and the city. It's the Spurs versus the city versus the county. This is what's really happening. Do they really need a new arena? Do we have to put our tax dollars in to build them a new arena? And it's not just the arena. It's building a sports and entertainment district that's going to benefit the whole of downtown, and it's going to benefit the community, and it's going to benefit the people that live here for future generations. Like I said, it's almost as impactful as the World's Fair was back in 1968. Sure. This is what our World's Fair is right now. It's Project Marvel.
Imagine, and this doesn't get talked about enough, but everybody keeps talking about the Spurs arena because it's such a hot button issue. I get it. Everybody assumes Project Marvel is just that. It's not. Like, the Alamo Dome renovation is huge. Imagine being able to host a national semifinal game or something like that
Or
in the
another
Alamo
Final
Dome
Four.
because you've upgraded the facilities to be able to meet those standards. Like those are massive, huge events that bring in so much tourism dollars, which tourism dollars affects how fast you pay everything off as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what the Final Four did for us this year.
Yeah.
We won't get another one if this doesn't happen.
Professor John Taylor of UTSA, Texas Politics, responded to what we had to say about all of this. We were asking the question about whether or not the higher turnout is for the Spurs or is it against the Spurs when it comes to it all. I asked this question to Michael Carlos from the San Antonio Current about it because, as I mentioned, 76,000 people have voted. And we're getting about...
Is it just me or does he seem like he's in Gina's pocket?
Kind of.
It's just a question. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, no, it's funny how people are calling him out when it comes to it, but we affectionately refer to him as Puro on this show because he can't pronounce poodle. But he said Puro, and I was like, okay, well, you're that. But it's interesting because I asked him on Twitter yesterday the fact that now, not including Sunday. Sunday was just a few hours available for early voting, so let's not count that day. But you go to Saturday, you go to Monday, you go Friday, Thursday. Book it. It's been over 10,000 votes every single day. And I asked the question, if this gets to 120,000 votes, over 100,000 votes, which is more than what the election had in June, for crying out loud, I think there was 140. Does this bode well for the Spurs or not? He believes so. He asked UTSA professor about that. UTSA professor reaches out and says that he thinks the higher the vote, the better it is for the Spurs. Do you agree?
I do, because let's face it, I don't think a lot of people care enough about city politics. So the fact that if the number goes higher, more sports fans are voting, that means. And that's going to only benefit. And then one other benefit is the way Wemby and the Spurs are playing.
Yeah.
Eyes on the prize, man.
And the Spurs going out there and giving out the shirts yesterday that said vote, right? And then you had the Holtz family going out there and say, vote for you have an opportunity. The Spurs have an opportunity on the court. You have an opportunity to support us off the court. It's a public-private partnership, man. That's just the way the sports works. And the question that I have for people who are against the arena is, do you want this team in the city or not? Because to me, you can't be like, I'm a Spurs fan, but I'm against the arena.
That's what some Spurs fans have been doing, Mike. Exactly that.
They don't exist.
Yes.
They don't exist because back in the day, Joe. Oh, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was, you can't be a Spurs fan if you're pro Team Tank, right? Yeah. Back in the day, it was, you can't be a Spurs fan if you don't think Pop should be the coach, right? There were these superficial divisions between Team Tank versus Team Play-In. Pop should retire. Pop should keep coaching as long as he wants to.
You bring up Team Tank. And this is like wildly off topic, but I want to ask before I go into the office. The Terry Rozier thing.
Yeah.
Shaving numbers, playing the unders. We're all acting like, it's affecting the integrity of the game, et cetera, blah, 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 yada, 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 right? How is that any different than tanking? Because you're, as an organization, effectively trying to affect the outcome of the game.
That's a very good point. I would say that the main difference is whether you're actually putting money down or telling people to put money down.
There's a benefit at the end of both. Monetary, draft pick compensate. You're effectively doing the same thing for the same end goal.
Okay, I agree with you on that. The difference between, though, is the fact that back in the day, your slot position, like in the NFL right now, my Saints are 1-7, right? If they keep losing, they're going to have the number one pick in the draft because it is slotted by record.
Sure.
They kind of skewed that where you only have a 14% chance max to get the number one prize in the NBA. So it improves your odds, but it doesn't actually make it so. Look at the Dallas Mavericks won the lottery, right? The Spurs won the lottery to get to number 2. It doesn't always work that way. Detroit was always picking at number 5 for crying out loud. They had the worst record in the league back-to-back years, missed out each time, was picked number 5 each time. So I understand your premise to the question. I just don't think that it's like as egregious because it's not.
But when we're talking about the integrity of the game, right? The integrity of the game. I'm laying money on something. I expect it to be to standard. And you have players like Lauri Markkanen being held out, setting out, like all these things that teams do to get to the bottom that affects how you wager a game. And if you don't know these things going in, the fix is in.
Load management.
It has the same effect on gambling.
I see
like Lauri Markkanen being a late scratch, although completely healthy, because they're trying to tank. Now, whether I know he's playing or not might affect how I'm laying my money that night.
Yeah, it's insider information that you're talking about. I mean, that's the big difference between the two is, do you have the insider information or not? And Terry Rozier is providing that information, and things like that. It does stink, what goes on, because I wanted to live in this fantasy world where I believe that everything was on the up and up when it comes to things. I understand tanking. I mean, tanking has been part of sports for the longest time, and it's not a basketball thing; it's an NFL thing. It's an MLB. It's every sport. When Sidney Crosby was available in hockey, there was tanking for him. So this is going on from the beginning of time. What has changed, though, when it comes to all this, the devil in the room, the devil in the details when it comes to it all, are prop bets. That is what's affecting sports detrimentally, more than tanking, more than load management. It's those player prop bets that I think have to go. They're fun. They're so much fun, but they have to go because that's what's ruining the integrity of the game.
This is just a question I have mulling around.
I miss
because
you,
Terry Rozier makes it feel dirty, but then if you look at it, it's like, well, I mean, it's no different than what Utah did, what San Antonio's done before, purposefully holding players out, not letting the inside know. It affects how you bet.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Joined by James Pledger, San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, 6 to 7 on Extra Innings. Pledger, let me ask you this question, Pledge. The Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to go 5-4-1. We know this. They're 4-5-1 right now, right? That's the record. Is it 4-5-1 or 3-4-1?
3-4-1.
3-4-1. They're going to be 5-4-1 2 weeks from now. Cowboy fans are going to get excited yet again. If you had your money out on the table, do you bet that they're going to make the playoffs or not?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I feel I lean no because of how bad this defense is. And I don't know if that's fixable, but that offense is so good. It's going to keep them in games. And I don't trust Jerry Jones to make a move at the trade deadline.
Okay. How about this, Joe? Rapid fire questions from Pledge. Just various things, okay? Sohan comes back. Should he be starting over Harrison Barnes, yes or no?
No.
Dak Prescott really an MVP candidate?
No. Comeback player of the year.
Is A&M really a top 3 team in college football?
Yes.
Is CJ Stroud overrated?
No.
Should Arch Manning play Saturday despite the concussion he had against Mississippi State?
Does he clear protocol?
Okay. If he does?
Then yes.
All right.
I'm wondering, did concussion be damned? Should he be out there? I'm like, no.
Is Geno Jones the worst dresser in mayoral history?
I don't know. There's been some bad dressed mayors. Ron Nuremberg was not one of those, but
was it a good song selection for the Spurs to come out to Kendrick Lamar's TV Off?
Yes.
It was a good selection? All right. I like it.
I like it.
Very nice.
I got one last question for you, Pledge. Texans, are they still in the hunt to make the playoffs in your eyes?
They're in the hunt to make the playoffs just because they're the amount of non-separation in the AFC. Everything's just so jumbled together down there in the middle with, the Steelers and the Texans and the Chargers and the Chiefs, and like everybody's 3-4, 4-3. Like They're all there. So technically, yes, they are still in it. They still are 3 games back of the Colts, and they have 2 games to play against them. So the division's not out of the conversation either. I need to see them replicate what they did on Sunday.
The rapid fire question.
I don't know if I trust it.
The rapid fire questions are coming in on our chat, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Should the Spurs start Castle or Harper?
Castle.
Is the Cowboys season over after the Denver loss?
No.
Does
I
Mike
beg to
Jimenez have the
differ, I
voice?
think yes.
Does Mike Jimenez have the voice of an angel when he karaoke's?
Absolutely not.
Has he ever had a good karaoke performance in front of you?
No.
Is Jimenez a misogynist?
Yes.
Can Mike blame San Antonio for eating poorly when he's here? Okay, let me backtrack.
Whoa. It says can.
Okay.
He can because that's who Mike is. Should he? No.
Okay, so Chica, Francesca, and I were getting married, by the way.
I saw. Congratulations.
Thank you. We are trying to find a place to call home, right? So we're looking all over the place. We're looking at San Antonio. Well, not San Antonio. We're looking at Helotes, Leon Springs, Bulverde. We're looking at
I love San Antonio. I'm just not looking there.
Yeah, San Antonio adjacent, right? And we're also looking over here. So she's asking people are asking the question, well, why not like San Antonio? It's like, well, there's no place in San Antonio to want to be because it's too unhealthy. There's too many taquerias. There's too many Bill Millers. I just can't do it. So everyone's saying, Jimenez, just don't go there. Don't blame the Bill Millers. Don't blame the taqueria. Just don't go. And I'm saying, well, there's no Bill Millers or taquerias here. And lo and behold, I lose weight. So can I blame San Antonio for my fatness?
No.
Damn it.
You can blame yourself for that.
Put the freaking fork down, Mike.
Is Mike's bag a purse?
It's a purse, Pledge. His bag is a purse. He wears it. He wear it like a purse. You know how you can just strap it over your chest, right? And wear
it's a merce
bag, like a
It's
messenger bag.
a duff. It's a leather duffel
it from the
bag.
outside in the front of my house. Took it out of the truck.
It's a
and
Murph.
put it on his shoulder like
Merce.
a purse. All he needed to do was pick up his leg too. I'm like, Mike, what are you doing, bro?
Oh my goodness. Midtown.
You're wearing a merce, man.
Midtown Texas asking the question: is Lululemon acceptable for men?
Yes.
Whoa. Does Pledge like pedicures?
Never had one.
You should. They're amazing. $2 super check coming in from Jason Garcia. Candy corn or black licorice?
Candy corn. Easy. Clears every day.
Do you believe Jimenez when he said that he had never had a Twix until last week?
I don't believe Jimenez about anything.
Do you believe when he said that he had never watched any of those movies growing up?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God, you thought it was shtick? You thought it was
I think everything you do is shtick.
Huh? Oh my God. I cannot believe you're calling me out, Pledge. I didn't watch any of those movies growing up, dude. And it's so funny because I'm watching because I'm with Francesca and she has not watched. She watched every movie growing up. She's the inverse of me. She stopped watching movies around 95. So like everything from 95 and beyond, she's never watched. So I'm showing her movies that she's never seen before, and I'm now acting like you. What do you mean you've never seen this movie? What do you mean you've never seen this movie? Because I saw everything after 95. She saw everything before 95. And we're it's going
we
good.
got another incoming super chat here. Mario Cavazos is asking Pledge, still a Rockets fan or Spurs?
I'm a Spurs. I'm a Rockets fan, but I like the Spurs. I enjoy the Spurs. I think they're a good team. I cheer for them when they're not playing Houston.
Do you fault me for not wearing Cowboys gear when my girlfriend was trying to buy my dad an outfit for Christmas?
I don't fault anybody for not wearing Cowboys gear.
Nice.
I don't care what it like. No, I'm not gonna wear Cowboys gear.
Jonathan,
I'm not gonna fault somebody for not wearing it.
Yeah, we were at the store. And she was like, put this on so I can see how it would fit your dad because she's trying to compare, because if it fits you, it'll fit your dad. And I'm like,
Just hold it up.
I'm not putting. Yeah, I was like, yeah, hold it up. And she goes, no,
It
put it
looks
on.
good.
I said no. Jonathan Sears is out and says Lululemon makes great shorts. They do, but they have the 5-inch, the 7-inch, or the 9-inch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into that. It's going to be bad. Tony Anala is asking the question. Says Mike and Pledge.
How much you want to show?
Okay, so before we let you go, because I know you have to go to work. For those who are trying to get into workout routines, because we're 2 months away from where we have candy that we have to eat for Halloween. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas, and we're all going to gain weight for the most part. I mean, I'm doing my fasting today, so give us a simple workout for those who are trying to get in shape, because I know you love to work out basically on the daily.
Simple would be body weight stuff. So if you can max rep burnout like a burpee and a push up into just standing calf raises, it's kind of like a whole body workout, and then finish off with some planks. Like that's going to tone, build. Like calisthenics are great for building and toning muscle. So it is a very effective way to be able to do things at home, not have to buy a gym membership. There are simple wall sits, to kind of really hit like legs and glutes. Like those are things that you can do around the house that can really help to kind of build you up and get you in the method and mode of consistently doing things that maybe pushes you into wanting to go for a walk or go for a run or actually get a gym membership and start to lift weights. But like calisthenics is a great home way to get things in, get them done within 30 minutes and still not disrupt your whole day by like having to get ready, go to the gym, drink some pre-workout, fight for machines, figure out a workout plan, like different things like that you get into the further you get into it. But if you just looking to kind of be healthy, kind of lose some weight, maybe tone some things up, calisthenics at home are a great way to get things going.
Pleasure. You are my idol, my man. I love you, my man. You're one of my besties. I miss you tremendously. So many fond memories of working with you and just hanging out with you. If I had to rank my top 10 list, I need like 50 things that have been said and done. We one time did a radio show in the dark. That was funny. Awesome. The lights went out, but the microphones were on, and we were in a pitch dark room doing a show together. My favorite show I ever did with Pledge, Joe, never aired. My favorite show was we did a Troy and Abed in the morning from the show Community, where they do the fake TV show. Yeah. We were at the Angry Elephant watching college football, and we did a whole radio show, Joe, with teases, crosstalk, all that stuff for about 15, 20 minutes. There was nothing on. We were just talking to each other like we were on the radio.
God.
We were so drunk. we had about 8 or 9 drinks by then. And I'm like, I do the intro to the show. And that was so funny, dude. That was amazing. Tell us about your show, man. Tell us about Extra Innings.
Extra Innings with Pledge, weekdays 6 to 7. It's just, we are getting you caught up on everything going on, whether it's Jerry Jones talking, the Cowboys latest, the Texans latest, and of course right now, big on the topics. We got props A and B and the Spurs being undefeated. It is a fantastic time in San Antonio, especially with the Spurs looking like they're making a return to relevance, which has been long overdue. And it is going to be great to grow and see how this team and the rotations work out as the season drags on.
Well, he does a fantastic job. The station does not run without James Pledger. That is for sure. We know that. I miss you guys out there. Tell Minix I said what's up. Tell Ryan Eagle I said what's up as well. Have a fantastic day at work. Thank you for being on. Maybe we can make this a regular thing every couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
Sounds good, my man. Joe, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, Pledge. We got to get back to the Root Pub.
Oh,
yes, sir. Absolutely. That needs to happen.
I'll see you, Pledge. Have a good one, brother.
All right, Pledge.
Later, guys.
And no, Joe is not chopped liver. It's just Pledge and I have history. We have history. I miss that man. I love that man. The first words out of his mouth that he ever said to me was, what did he say? I've heard worse. My when I was applying to Sports Star as when we did the auditions for Rock the Mic, he looked at me and he goes, well, I've heard worse. Very, very nice. Our chat is powered by P.F. Chang's Lock and Terror. Let's give them some love, man, because they do Wednesday. That's tomorrow, but they just opened for lunch right now. Happy hour every day from 6 to 9. 8 new drink specials. Let's give some love to P.F. Chang's Lock and Terror.
P.F. Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of P.F. Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. P.F. Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
And now everyone thinks I should get you a drink, Joe, the next time we go to P.F. Chang's La Cantera, because I owe you 2 or 3 drinks. I know I do, because I've drank your alcohol for the longest time. I think I owe you like 6 drinks by now. But they have 8 cocktails. It's a cocktail collection called the Lucky Cocktail Collection for $8.99 all day right now. Blood orange margarita, the Pertini, the Tokyo Mule, the lychee martini, which Joe tried. You did not eat the lychee, by the way. You should have. It looks disgusting, but it's delicious. Lemon drop martini, the Crimson Tiger Long Island iced tea, the Golden Buddha Mai Tai, and Jade margarita, all on sale all day, every day from open to close, $8.99. Again, they have happy hour from 6 to 9. Go visit Sean Quintero over at P.F. Chang's La Cantera. Joe, I tell you what, man, it's a good time to be a Spurs fan. It really is.
It is.
We've waited so long for this. And I'm not saying that the Spurs are going to go off and win 50 games. I know that the Spurs have started off to hot starts before. I mean, a couple of years ago, they went 3-2, and I think they lost 19 in a row thereafter. But those teams are different, man. The Spurs are winning games that they should be winning. And what Victor Wembanyama said after the game yesterday was, we're beating the teams we should beat. And I thought to myself, when was the last time a Spurs player said something like that? Saying that we have expectations that we're beating the teams that we should be beating. Joe, you're correct in saying that they haven't played anybody good yet. But the fact of the matter is that they're gaining confidence. They were undefeated in preseason, Joe. They're undefeated now. They're learning how to win and close out games. And
but are we really going to count those preseason games that the Spurs have been 9-0? Preseason doesn't count.
Preseason doesn't count. Does. But what it does show, Joe, is that they're learning how to put games away. Third quarter has been the bugaboo for the Spurs. Third quarters, they're coming out of halftime sluggish. Each and every game, they're coming out sluggish. But they're starting hot, they're ending hot. And Wemby is showing, and the team is showing Wemby, hey, we don't need you to shoot 25 times for us to win these games. You can get your 25 to 30 points. He was 7 for 8 shooting, right? Got a lot of shots at the free throw line as well. But everyone else contributed. You have Harper, you have Castle, you have Vassell, all averaging around 16 to 18 points per game. You have Keldon Johnson coming off the bench. Harrison Barnes, man, made his first 5 shots yesterday. They don't have to rely solely on Wemby. And when you get that type of play, Joe, it brings confidence, and defensively they're starting to bring it. Yeah, they played a crappy Brooklyn team. Yeah, they played a team in the Dallas Mavericks that is still just learning its way. Yeah, they beat a bad team.
New Orleans Pelicans team.
A winless New Orleans Pelicans team. Yes, but guess what, Joe? They need to win those games to make the playoffs. To get to 48, to make the playoffs, 46 to 48 wins, you got to win those games, and they're doing. And Joe, what do you like to say, Joe? You are what your what's is.
Record says you are.
And they're 4-0.
They're 4-0. They're leading the West right now. But, you know, we also had some audio of Victor Wembanyama after the game. And Carolina, our friend Carolina Teague, ask Victor about
Good.
the Spurs being able to close out games despite challenges and being currently 4-0. So we have the audio of that. I'm going to go ahead and play it. And this is courtesy of Carolina Teague of Spurfic Blog.
You guys are currently undefeated, but each game you've had
Can't barely hear, but we can see the captions.
What's been the biggest sign of growth that you've seen, not just in wins, but how your team handles runs, adversity, or execution?
Can still get better, especially coming out of second half.
So you can't really hear the audio, but he's saying, that they can get better. He says he's saying, despite their defensive deficiencies at time, there's room for improvement, but they're recognizing that the game is getting better for them.
I think what we're seeing from the Spurs is an interesting dynamic of what's going on, and it basically is a cascading effect that starts with Victor Wembanyama. Wemby has gone from an all-star level player to a generational player. He's a top 3 player in the NBA right now. There's not anybody in the league who is a 30-point per game guy, 13, 14 rebound per game guy who's going to get you 4 to 5 blocks. Yesterday, you had a team in the Toronto Raptors, which is not a bad team, not a good team, not a bad team. You had a Raptors team that outright avoided him. You talk about blocks, getting 4, 5, or 6 blocks. Why did he only get his first block late in the fourth quarter? They literally avoided him, no different than when Deion Sanders was avoided by quarterbacks back in the 90s. That has to count, in my eyes, as dozens of blocks. Because how do you avoid a certain player, a certain side of the court, the entire game? Wemby's playing at a level right now that is beyond all-star. He's generational. He is going to be an all-star this year. He's going to be first-team All-NBA, and he's going to be an MVP candidate. And right now is a top 3 player in the NBA.
Look at his numbers through 4 games.
60% from the field. Look at that. A 40-point game, a 29, a 31, a 24, averaging 30 points per game. Getting double-digit rebounds, averaging about 5 blocks per game, and 60% from the field. Victor Wembanyama has taken it up a level, and now everybody else is falling in line. Now, it makes the game easier for Vassell. It makes the game easier for Harper to get acclimated to the NBA. It makes the game easier for Castle. It makes the game easier for Champagny and for everybody else on the team. And Luke Cornett being out the last 2 games has been a thing for the Spurs, because you put Luke Cornett back out there, they're an even better team. And this is a team that's 4-0. Yeah, they may not have beaten any good teams yet, but they're 4-0. They're beating the team they should beat. And on top of that, they are doing it without De'Aaron Fox. They're doing it without Jeremy Sohan. They're doing it without Luke Cornett the past 2 games, without Kelly Olynyk. And it's interesting to see the development of this team. We have not had this excitement in San Antonio for quite some time. We've been waiting so long. The Spurs are back. They're going to make the playoffs, provided that everyone's healthy. It is fun to watch, and I cannot wait to see what this team develops into, because, Joe, they're only going to get better.
No. They're only going to get better. And the thing is that you still haven't even seen them at full strength yet, as I've said, because you still have other players that are still coming back from injury. You haven't seen Sohan out there. You haven't seen Fox out there yet. You haven't seen Olynyk out there yet. And we even have some other players out that are prolific 3-point shooters, right? I think it was that Waters was out because of some type of eye surgery that he had. So he's still on the mend from that. So yeah, I mean, this can look like an entirely different team, and that's interesting. That's an interesting enigma to me. What are they going to look like at full strength, and how far can they go when healthy? Right. That's the biggest question mark, I think, of the season, and that's a good thing to have, a good problem to have, because you don't know how far they're going to go. And I think this is going to be the time that it's exciting to be a Spurs fan, because you have things to get excited about. The team hadn't looked very good the last couple of seasons. They're looking great out the gate right now. There's a lot of promise. There's a different aura in the air. Fans are excited. There's a buzz about the team, more so than just the Project Marvel thing that's going on right now. The city's awake again, because Spurs basketball is here. And that's something that we haven't felt in quite some time, is the buzz around the city.
Most definitely. And I like Tex-Mex Frank's comment right here on our chat, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Says the Spurs are developing a winning attitude and a solid team chemistry. These things will hopefully develop when this team faces more challenging teams. That's the thing about it, man, is that the Spurs are growing up. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's Five alluded to this on a Locked On Spurs episode about a week and a half ago, where he was saying this isn't a young team anymore. Keldon's been on this team for 7 years. Vassell's been on this team for 6 years. It's not a young team anymore. We should treat them as like the veterans that they are, and they're contributing like veterans out there. And I think that a lot has to be said. The head of the snake is Wemby. He's playing out of his mind right now. And because of that, it just makes everyone else and their roles fall into place. Pledger mentioned the fact that Cooper Flagg is kind of on an island by himself right now because they don't have the talent around him. And as Dark Aeons pointed out on our chat, there's a mark on his back, there's a target on his back. Harper doesn't have to deal with that. Harper just has to play his game, play his role. He doesn't have to be the star of this team. And guess what? Harper is showing out of the gate that he is an NBA talent to be reckoned with, that he's going to be a future all-star. This entire draft class, Joe, from Cedric Howard to VJ Edgecombe to Cooper Flagg to Trey Johnson to Dylan Harper, this is going to be one of the best draft classes we've seen in a long, long time. And speaking of draft classes, Joe, we got to cheer for the Atlanta Hawks to lose. The Hawks are 1-3. We get to get their pick. We get to swap with them this year. And right now, the Hawks are 1-3. That one game they won, they should have lost because they were down by 15 in the fourth quarter. Hopefully that team sucks, and we get their pick, and we get their lottery pick. By the way, if the season ended right now, Joe, do you know how many top 15 picks Oklahoma City would have?
How many?
4. Dude, no one runs a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, man. Can you imagine them getting 4 lottery picks when it's all said and done? But that's what they're in line with right now. But interesting stat from yesterday, Joe. Did you know that against the Raptors yesterday, Wembanyama and Dylan Harper out-rebounded that entire team by themselves?
Did they?
Yeah, it was an interesting stat that the Spurs pointed out that when it came to the stats, it was one of the worst rebounding performances by a team in NBA history. Yesterday, the Raptors had only 20 rebounds the entire game. Wemby had 15. Harper had 6. Those two players by themselves out-rebounded the entire team of the Raptors. Absolutely crazy. By the way, that was the lowest performance for a rebound since 2014 when Miami had 20 in that game. The worst ever, by the way. I'm not gonna count what happened in 1950, but back in 2014, the Brooklyn Nets had 17 rebounds. That's the worst in modern NBA history. Yesterday's performance was the 5th worst in modern NBA history when it comes to rebound performances, and that's what's going to keep the Spurs in winning contention. Joe, that's a good rebounding team. Castle can rebound, Harper can rebound, Champagny can rebound, and then we're going to bring in Sohan. I like where this team's going. And Joe, you know how I like to. I'm a stockbroker for a living.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy stock in a player right now, Joe. I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm glad Pledger's away from the screen right now. As of October 28th, 2025, am going to buy stock in Jeremy Sohan.
Oh, God. Why?
Because he gets to play a role no different than Harper does, no different than Castle or Champagny. And he doesn't have to play anything outside of his role. And I think that the pressure is away from him. I think him being on the bench, watching this team go 4-0 without him, probably hurts his feelings a little bit. He's a good teammate out there. I think that Sohan is going to thrive knowing that he doesn't have to do everything. Now, can he function in that role? I think he'll be perfectly fine. The athleticism that he brings to the table, Joe, I think is going to be an even better dynamic for the Spurs. Yeah. I'm going to buy a little bit of stock in Jeremy Sohan. JHNSB asking the question, does Mike ignore Castle's free throws? A lot of Spurs are trying to get away from the fact that Castle can't make a free throw for some reason right now. And he's also the leader in turnovers. I'm mad at him. I know it's not going to be like that forever, but it's so weird that Stephon Castle cannot make a free throw, Joe. He made 4 in a row yesterday and then started missing them. What is going on with that, Joe? What do you think the issue is with him at the free throw line? Because he's bad.
I think right now it just has to come down to it's a mental thing. You know, you just have to go out there and just have that mentality of you need to calm yourself down and just go ahead and just say, all right, I'm going to knock down these shots. I think he's just overthinking it. I think he's just getting in his own head. The more free throws he shoots, he's just going to get better. You just got to shoot out of it. Keep taking them.
He averages almost 9 free throw attempts per game and is shooting just 57%. Last year was a 72% shooter. Last year, he got to the free throw line 4 times per game. This year, 9. He's more aggressive. He's getting into the lane. But the fact of the matter is, you got to make those shots.
If he had those, let's say if he made those free throws, how many points is that? Right?
That's the difference between an 18-point per game guy, which is right, where is that right now, 18.3? He'd be about 20 to 21 points per game.
Right? If he makes his free throws. If you make those free throws, if you're going to the line 9 times, 2 points, 9 times, 18 points that you're leaving out there on the stripe. If you can knock down half of those, it just helps pad your stat line that much more.
Yeah.
You know, he has to be able to make those because, again, you don't want him as a liability like Jeremy Sohan is in closing time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a great, let's say, finisher, right, at the rim, you can get to the rim, you can create your own shot. You're not really prolific at knocking down field goals. But if you can go ahead and get to the stripe and knock down those free throws, it stops the game. It helps put some points up there on the board. You're helping your team. Now, if you're doing the opposite where you're turning the ball over, not able to knock down jump shots, not able to knock down your free throws, that's detrimental to your team. That's not going to help you lose in closing time. And what's going to happen if that continues? He's going to find himself on the bench next to Jeremy Sohan.
Well, the problem is that because he's playing point, he's a de facto point guard of this team right now. What happens when the Spurs are up by 3 or 2 points with 30 seconds to go in the game and the other team starts fouling? Who are they going to foul? They're going to foul Castle.
They're going to foul Sohan.
But it's so weird because Castle has a year's experience on this team. He goes to the free throw line, and I am not kidding when I say this. The body language changes. He said he plays basketball with his chest out. He is a very, very, very confident basketball player. He gets fouled. All that confidence just goes away. And he steps to the free throw line unsure. And he also shoots the free throws, by the way, with his right foot about 6 inches ahead of his left foot. What the hell's going on with that?
Yeah.
Like square up, dude. Square up and make a free throw. He's shooting like at an angle like this. It's kind of bizarre, man. And when I was at the game with Fernandez and Mexican Jr. over in Dallas, you could just see that he has no desire to shoot a free throw. But on the flip side, you have Dylan Harper, who's a rookie, that if the game was on the line and the Spurs were down 2, we need to go 2 points to get into overtime, I would trust him implicitly that he's going to make them. He goes to the free throw line like he's calm. It's just so weird. Now, Harper, his court vision is so fun to watch. He found Jordan McLaughlin on a 3-point shot yesterday. Like, how did he find him? He was the 4th option on that play. How did he find him? He drove into the lane and knew that he was right there. There's just something to be said about knowing how to play that point guard position where it becomes second nature, like Stockton back in the day, or Jason Kidd, or even Tony Parker. Parker was a shoot-first point guard, but to know where everybody's at is a skill that Jeremy Sohan could never have gotten 3 years ago when they tried playing him at the point.
No.
But isn't it fun to watch Harper out there just be a duck in water, just naturally fit and flow? And the game didn't have to be slowed down for him. He just toss him in. He knows where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, that's good and all, but again, he's had these performances against 4 teams that don't have a winning record. You know, and he's looking great, and you're singing his praises and whatnot. But over the course of an 82-game season, I'm sure there's going to be games where he's going to be humbled as a rookie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you're going to be going up against better talent.
Wemby will be humbled, too, at some point this year. No one goes 82-0. No one.
And it's also bad matchups. There's certain teams that the Spurs just don't match up great against, notoriously. You know,
Well, I think I'm gonna disagree with you, Joe. I think that the script is flipped.
I don't know, man.
Well, how do you match up against Wemby now? Because it was easy to match up against Wemby when he was a hieroglyphic out there, way to buck 30, dripping wet, right? But now with the size that Wemby has, the confidence that he has down low, how do you compete with that? Because teams wanted Wemby to shoot 3-pointers last year. They wanted him to shoot 3-pointers as a rookie. But when Wemby's out there with a little bit more oomph, with a footwork that Hakeem taught him, with the dog that he got from Kevin Garnett, and getting to understand that, and Garnett saying that he wanted to know how to be a bigger dog out there. It's not incumbent for the Spurs to match up with them with other teams. Other teams need to match up with the Spurs. And then when Cornette comes back, I hope Cornette comes back soon, because man, that's a different defensive team when Cornette's out there.
Yeah, look at Mario Cavazos. Sorry about that. He's saying everyone already forgot about Lindy Waters the third. No, I haven't forgotten about him. Believe he's, like I said, he's on the mend because he's had some eye surgery. So when he comes back too, you're going to insert him, and there you go. You got another 3-point shooting threat. So that's great for the San Antonio Spurs. And to answer your question, the way that you're going to be able to stop Wemby, so to speak, is you got to give him different looks. And I saw something interesting that the Mavs did at one point in time, and it kind of bothered him a little bit. Coming early with the double team, and then having another defender come and just kind of be a pest and swipe at the ball, not really trying to get a steal, but just swipe at the ball. And that kept him out of rhythm. It didn't let him get into any rhythm. He had trouble shooting when they did that, but they only did it a couple of times, so it didn't really affect his overall game. But if you want to go ahead and pester him, that's how you're going to be able to do it. You can go ahead and still bring a smaller defender on there, but it's going to have to be on a double team and with another man coming from behind just to kind of swipe at the ball and have him looking at behind his back and not letting him really get off a shot in good rhythm, which will go ahead and affect him and his overall shooting percentage. But can you do that throughout the entirety of a game? Probably not. You could do it in little spades, but if they're going to do that to Wemby, that means what, Mike? Somebody's wide open, you know?
Yeah, what do you think about Dark Aeon's comment there? Actually, no, it's JHNSB's comment saying that Wemby's handles are tighter.
They are tighter. I noticed that too, and I was showing the highlight of it as well. As he's bringing the ball up the court, you can see that they are, because he puts the ball behind his back, kind of like Manu, used to do back in the day. There's this highlight here. I don't know why it's not playing here, but we'll figure this out. But it was interesting to see him as he came up the court, being able to go ahead and have those handles for a guy his size, you know? I mean, look at the way he dribbles the ball. He had a 360 there, you know? Look at the control. You know, I think it's just a lot to do with experience and his overall comfort level. He's feeling a lot more comfortable out there.
I like the word that you used right there, control.
Yeah,
his body control is so much better than it was the first couple of years. It almost seemed like he was trying to play not within himself, but now he's playing within himself in a different way because he's more confident in what he's doing out there. There's purpose to every step that he's taking out there, both on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball. He has grown into a very, very mature player, and he's still just 21 years old, Joe.
Yeah, he's still young. He still can go ahead and grow even more. I think there's still a higher ceiling for him to go to. But this is the play that we were talking about with him and the handles. I'm going to see if I can find another video of it. I have it here somewhere. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, they had zoomed in on him, and he was just, like I said, dribbling the ball up the court. He put it behind his back, and he just was handling the ball like a point guard, you know. And when he does stuff like that, that's when you can take a little pause and be like, mira Wemby.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, not only can he do that, but again, I think one of the things that, or one of the talents that he has that goes unsung is his passing ability. I think he's one of the best passers that the Spurs have, being able to find the open man. He has a good, a high basketball IQ, and he recognizes that. So while he might not drop 50 points a night, and I get that, I like making fun, but I think it's also important, as he had stated too, there's some shots that he can take that are wide open, but it's also, he's now recognizing how important it is to get his teammates involved as well. While he can probably have a really high scoring night almost any given game if he wants to be a ball hog, it's important to have that balance on scoring. getting everybody involved, because what, it helps space the floor better, because now they have to go ahead and respect the other team, his teammates, because why, they can knock down a jumper, they can knock down an open three. So it gives everybody time to go ahead and do their work, so to speak, and be able to play their positions.
Joe, how long do you think the streak can go? The Spurs play back-to-back games.
Man.
The Spurs play back-to-back games. They have 2 full days off. And they're at home still, so they're getting to sleep in their own bed. They get to practice at their own facility. They have a home game Thursday night, 7:30 tip-off against the Miami Heat. Spurs, according to ESPN, have a 64% chance of winning that game. Then the Spurs go on the road to take on Phoenix, who has started the season 1-2. That's a Sunday tip-off at 7 p.m.
Mhm.
Then the Spurs have a couple of days off, go on the road against the Lakers, a 9 p.m. tip-off on ESPN. So that's a tough game, right?
Yeah.
They've got a tough game there. Then the Spurs return back to San Antonio to play the Houston Rockets on a Friday night. So not this Friday, but the following Friday. I mean, I think the Spurs should take care of Miami. They should take care of Phoenix, Joe. That's a 6-0 start.
You would think so, but I'm like, anything can happen with these games. I'm looking at these games. You have the game before Halloween on Thursday, the 30th, against the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's an interesting game. The Heat, they haven't played a lot of games. I believe their overall record is like 2-1. They're going to be playing the San Antonio Spurs. The Heat aren't like an extremely bad team. They're kind of middle of the pack.
And they've got a good center.
East.
They've got a good center.
And are they going to be like world beaters? No. Are they going to be like, hey, they're going to return to the NBA Finals? Probably not. Not really. More of a play-in team in the East. But the one thing that the Heat do have going for them is they have one of the best coaches in the NBA in Coach Spo. Mm-hmm. They're well coached, and that attributes to something as well. So I think that the Heat are going to play the Spurs really tight, and I think they might give them a little bit of a fit. But again, this is going to be a good test for the Spurs,
Yeah, Tyler Herro can go off any night.
Yeah.
Tyler Herro can go off for a 40-point game at any night, any time. He just has that shooting ability. Bam Adebayo is a fantastic center, but he's 6'8".
Yeah.
I mean, Wemby is literally 8 inches taller than him. And back in the day, Bam would actually muscle you out, but I don't think Wemby is going to go for that anymore. By the way, Joe, I thought of you when I was watching yesterday's game. Watching Bismack Biyombo not want to get pushed around the other day. I don't know if it was yesterday's game or the day before. It was against Brooklyn. He did not want to get pushed around, and he told that guy off. It was Nick Claxton, I think is who it was.
Yeah.
He started cussing at Nick Claxton. He was like, "Get off me, MFer."
Yeah, get off me, flea. You got to push him, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's good times, man. Cornette comes back. I don't see how this team is going to be stopped, man, because Cornette played over 30 minutes the other day. Remember I told you he doesn't play beyond 20, 22? He played 31 minutes the other day, got hurt. See what happens, Joe?
Look what Alex Noriega said. Shout out to you, Alex. He says the Heat beat the Grizzlies by 32 and the Knicks by 8.
Okay. So we're going to call this a good win, Joe, if they beat the Heat? Or are you going to be like, oh, well, they didn't do it on the road? Is that what you're going to say?
No, I'm just saying I think that's going to be a good test for them is all I'm saying. I think it's going to be a good test playing a team that's kind of on their level is what I'm saying when it comes to where they're projected to be in their conferences, right? In the Western Conference, the Spurs are pretty much projected to be either, maybe go as high as 5, but around the 6th seed, Yeah. Same thing could be said for the Heat.
Well, let's do things in chunks, Joe. Because early on, I said after 10 games, Spurs would be 6-4.
Yeah.
Before the season started. Everyone came after me saying I was an idiot for saying that. 6-4. I believe you said 5-5.
Yeah, 500.
Okay, so the next 6 games, Heat, home against the Heat, on the road against the Suns, against the Lakers, home against the Rockets. They've got a home game against New Orleans and a road game against Chicago. Okay, to me, the 2 wins are New Orleans and Phoenix. They should get those games. It's what are they going to do against Miami, the Lakers, Houston, and Chicago? I figure they go 2-2 against those teams. They'll lose a couple of games. They'll maybe lose to Houston, they'll lose to the Lakers, whatever the case may be. Dude, Joe, at that point, Joe, that's an 8-2 start.
You would that's what you're thinking. That's what you're just trying to be optimistic.
I'm
I
thinking
don't
worst
know,
case scenario.
man.
I think worst case scenario it's 7-3.
I don't see anything wrong with them splitting and going 5-5. And I think that might be good for them actually in hindsight. If they go and they win 5 and they lose 5.
Well, that'd be
And
them
show
losing 5.
them.
That'd be them losing 5 out of the next 6 games. I don't see how that's a
I'm
positive
just saying
thing.
that might not be a bad thing for them because if you lose, you get tired of the losing, right? You have to do better. And that could be a powerful teacher again, just like you see what happened to the Spurs of old, Mike, where they came out and they played great during the regular season, right? And then when they get to the playoffs, they just couldn't get past certain teams, the Jazz, the Lakers. They had issues. And I remember them getting thoroughly beaten and blown out, embarrassed by the Utah Jazz at the Alamo Dome one year, and just seeing what was going on. And that's when they had David Robinson, they had, Dennis Rodman and all that, and they just got blown out the water. And they had the home court advantage. And then you look at other games that had transpired, like the games against the Golden State Warriors at the time. The Spurs couldn't get past the Warriors for a while too. Getting into that first round of the playoffs, the debacle with Rod Strickland, throwing the ball over his back into nobody. These things are powerful teachers. And I'm just saying I don't want them to go 5-5. I mean, I hope they have a better record than that. If they go 8-2, that's great momentum for them moving forward. But again, I'm saying if they go 500, that could be a powerful teacher to show them this is what you have to do to win. You got to take it up even another notch. And when healthy, if they have a full squad, I think they're going to be able to work with that, and be able to take it up another level.
I'd rather not them have that growing pain. I'd rather them
But
have
I
that
would
growing
rather
pain
them have it
and
early
win.
than late.
Well, I mean, I would much rather them get used to the idea of winning. I don't want their confidence to be sucked out of them this early in the season. I want them to be able to show that they can go on the road to win. When they went to Dallas and beat the Mavericks over there, we can say that they weren't a good team, and maybe they won't be. Maybe Cooper Flag isn't as advertised this year. Maybe it's going to take 2 or 3 years for Cooper Flag
That
to
Mavs team is going to be a lottery team, dude.
great. But it was a
Yeah.
road win. It was a road win, and the Spurs were favored to lose that game. By the way, the Spurs are also undefeated not only at home, not only on the road for the year. They're undefeated against the spread. Depending on the sports book, they're either 4-0 or 3-0-1. So worst case scenario, depending on the sports book, you may have had a push on one of their victories. But yeah, not bad. Dude.
You're looking at that game against the Bulls, right? On November the 10th. Where are the Bulls stacking up right now in the Eastern Conference?
They're
If
3-0.
without looking, where are they at right now?
They're 3-0.
And they're number 1. You know who else is 3-0? The 76ers. So
It's go.
yeah, so it's like it's kind of surprising, that the Philadelphia 76ers are 3-0 right now. And the Bulls are 3-0. They're getting off to a hot start right now. It's real early still. But, I think early on in the season, again, these are going to be good games for the San Antonio Spurs, going up against teams like the Rockets, going up against their rival in the Lakers. Phoenix can get hot, but they're not very consistent. Sometimes they'll go off and they'll look like world beaters, and they can drop a ton of points and then they just fade away. Hopefully, with Wemby, that's the difference maker that'll go ahead and be the catalyst that'll push the Spurs over some of these ugly games, because over the course of the next couple games, where they're going to be playing on the road and whatnot, they're going to have ugly games. But as we've seen early on, they can win those ugly games, and hopefully that streak will continue.
But I look at Chicago and I think to myself, who's going to guard Wemby? Vucevic is their starting center.
You can say that with any team. Who's going to guard Wemby?
That's exactly it. That's why the Spurs are in the driver's seat, that they're playing the Spurs. They have to play to the Spurs, not, you have to conform to us. That's the difference this year. The confidence level of Wemby, the size of Wemby, getting taller, getting stronger. That's Wemby, baby. That's Wemby right there.
He's doing the Rocky workout.
That's the thing.
With the stick, with the wooden stick.
He chased the chickens with the monks. They threw him an orange. He caught it and he ran away.
Oh God.
It's so cool because I think the script has been flipped. The Spurs don't have to match up with you. You have to match up with them because they have the unicorn. They've got the alien back there. That's the big difference between this year and last year. And I think that the Spurs are to quote the Matrix, and I've quoted this many times before, they're beginning to believe. They're beginning to see the Matrix. And if they go out and they start beating teams, whether they're healthy or unhealthy or not, people are saying, well, Doncic might not be playing with the Lakers or might be hurt when he comes back against the Lakers, or LeBron might be hurt when they come back. Doesn't matter. A win is a win is a win. You got to rack up wins. I don't care if they're as I mentioned on Twitter, I want to have ugly wins, not moral victories. And look at those handles.
Look at those handles, Mike. Behind the back like Manu. Mira Wemby. Mira Wemby.
All day, baby, all day. Hey, thank you to James Fletcher from San Antonio Sports Star for being on with us. Again, his show is called Extra Innings. It's from 6 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You can also watch it on their YouTube page. You can follow him at I Am Pledger on Twitter. My name is Mike Jimenez. It's Joe Garcia. Thank you again to P.F. Cheng's La Cantera. If you have any questions about financial planning, financial advising, when it comes to things like investments, insurance, long-term care, retirement accounts, rollovers, 401k, this, that, and the other, rollovers into IRAs, annuities, things like that, give me a call. 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369. We'll be back tomorrow. Guess what? When we come back tomorrow, guess what? The Spurs will be undefeated. It'll be 4-0 still.
They will. Oh, just a quick programming note. My daughter will be getting married this next week, so I will be out Monday and Tuesday because I'm going to be celebrating with the family. Got a lot of things going on. Daughter's birthday, the day after her birthday, she's getting married. So taking some time off. Mike will be flying solo. Maybe you'll have a guest to help you run the show.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Well, we'll probably be on what's it called? The government shutdown day, like
Furlough?
35. we'll get Spurlow, Mr. Spurlow himself, Fernandez, something like that for one of the shows. But we'll be back tomorrow. Go Spurs, go!
All right, see you boys tomorrow.
See ya.